I liked it, but this movie takes place 27 years after the losers' terrifying encounter with Pennywise. And during the 27 years, the losers have moved away until a terrifying phone call brings them back. Now, when the first movie came out, it was critically acclaimed and it got positive reviews by critics and fans loved it, and Rotten Tomatoes, it was a hit in Rotten Tomatoes. I guess for a fresh movie, whatever the ratings they have. So of course the sequel was written in stones, and right after 2 years, here we are. I want to begin by saying that this movie was, first of all, I want to talk about the cons of this movie, then I will go on to the pros. Okay, the cons of this movie I'm going to begin with. This movie is 12 hours and 40 minutes. That is a long runtime for a horror movie. I don't get it why they wanted to make a long movie. I know that they wanted to put everything from the books, but I believe that 2 hours and 40 minutes is too much. They could have made it 2 hours and 20. I think it would have been much better. They would have removed some of the unwanted things from the movie, and the movie would have flowed a lot better, because there are some things in the movie that doesn't make sense. Like in the beginning, there are some scenes which I thought was unnecessary, especially with the. It's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler. It's a spoiler for review. If in the first movie there's this guy, I forgot his name. Let me. What? There was this kid who was a bully. I guess I think he had a knife in his hand. So whatever his name may be, I apologize if I don't know. Uh, so there are some scenes that movie is being wasted on him that doesn't make any sense. I think they would have removed that part of the movie. It would have made a little bit better. And another thing that I want to talk about, the con of this movie, that this movie doesn't have the heart and the emotional beat that the first movie had. Only around the third act of the movie where I really got interesting in this movie. You can see that the heart and the emotion that the first movie had come back in the third act of it, chapter part 2, in which the first movie had throughout the whole 2 hours runtime. The first act and the second act was kind of like, okay, for me. It's kind of like a perspective journey for each of the characters for the loser clubs, going on their own journey, facing their own fears that the Pennywise has left on him. And another thing that I want to talk about that I didn't like about the movie, uh, there are some characters in my mind has not been cast. I didn't like the casting choices. I'm not gonna say who, especially the character of Mike Hansen, which didn't make any sense of what he was doing in the movie. He had no role other than the role at the very end, and I guess that's how the movie it is in the books. And another thing, I don't know about it. It's not much of a con. The ending of the movie. A lot of people are saying that they didn't like the ending of the movie, which the thing is, to come to think of it, I also did not like the end of the movie. The way that they handed the ending, I think they could have done it much better instead of just following the books. But I get they wanted to follow the books, stay true to the source material. So yeah. Now let's get on to the positives. Whenever Bill Skarsgård Pennywise was on screen, he would immediately stole the scene, stole the movie from me. I think his performance, and not to mention Bill Hader's performance, these two characters stole the movie from me. I think whenever they were on, it was entertaining. His line was great, his humor was great, and I loved it. Bill Hader he's a accomplished actor. Not to mention he was in SNL. So yeah, he stole the movie from me alongside with Pennywise. I think a lot of people are saying that Pennywise is not much as scarier as he was in the first movie, but he has some scenes in this movie to me was quite disturbing. You can see him around also in the daylight also, which you didn't see in the last movie. In the last movie, he used to be lurking around the shadows. Yes, there was one scene around the house, but whenever Bill Skarsgård was on the screen, he stole the show, I guess. Around alongside with Bill Hader, I think the movie, I think it really did justice to the books because I'm the one who read the books, and I think it did really give time to all the other characters and the perspective again. Not a big fan of that, but I get it. And another thing that I wanted to talk about, that this Andy, the director of this movie, he did a phenomenal job. I think only his third movie, first movie was Mama in 2013, and this rebooted its sequel. I think he has made a name already for himself. I think he will be the one directing the next Flash movie. So this movie, it was a good movie, but it was not one of the movies that I will say, okay, I'll watch it again. I'm excited to watch it again, which I will, because I wanted to see some other more other things that maybe I could have missed. But this movie for me, if I would have rated this movie, I would rate it 8 out of 10. I think go and watch this movie in the biggest screen in the IMAX. It's a great movie. It's not a bad movie. Yes, it does has its flaws. It's not as great as the first, but it's in some areas it is better than the first movie. So go and definitely watch this movie. I think the cast first I want to talk about is very stellar cast. You have Jessica Chastain as Beverly Marsh. You have James McAvoy as Bill. You have Bill Hader as Richie. You have, of course, I guess this movie. I like this movie. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. So please, if you liked my review, subscribe down there, and of course push the notification down. I think it's the easiest thing you can do. Just ding ding ding, press it. And I will see you guys on the next RJ show.